Okay, so I'm pretty sure by now you all know about what happens in the season 2 finale of Peacemaker, and it's safe to say a lot of people are upset, if not just totally pissed, because James Gunn kind of promised this huge, crazy cameo twist and turns event, and we really got nothing. But this is what I would have done to keep that same hype and honestly just make it a lot better. I'm not gonna have any visuals on the screen to avoid copyright, so you have to imagine in your head, but it'll be worth it. By the end it gets crazy, trust me. So episodes 1 through 6 are fine, I like it, so I'm just gonna rewrite 7 and 8. The only thing I would have changed is I wouldn't have Lex Luthor's cameo yet. But let's get into it. Shoudve was running mid-chase from all the races of Earth X, and instead of her getting saved by Judomaster, she actually gets killed. And when Chris hears about this, he's just mentally destroyed. She was such an emotional core of his character and his relationship with her this season. He's like broken now. But he wants revenge. He's on that type of time. But he has no time to mourn. They're in a life or death situation. So he and the rest of the 11th Street kids get up out of there and go back to their Earth. Back at their Earth, Chris is just seeking revenge like crazy. So he calls the one guy he knows would actually care about an issue like this and could totally help them, and he tells him the whole story of Earth X. He's like, bring your weapons, bring all your ammunition, you're gonna need it. So he comes, and it's none other than Bloodsport, Idris Elba in the DCU, baby. Maybe he had some connections to Adebayo, but whatever beef him and Chris had is gone now. But Chris is totally aware that the 11th Street kids and Bloodsport still aren't enough to take on Earth X, because there's so many people there. So he gets to assembling a team. They add on G.I. Robot, however they want to bring him into the DCU and explain that. But they still don't feel their team is enough, so they still gotta look for more. But anyway, back at Argus, let's check in on Argus for a second. They're still looking through the portals and dimensions, looking for a habitable prison. I'm still gonna keep that, I like that storyline. So we show the same montage of them looking through the Candyland, the black hole, and the zombies. But the new look 11th Street kids, still not powerful enough. They know that they're missing a metahuman, or at least a metahuman level power. So they get Mr. Terrific. While he may not literally be a metahuman, James Gunn did say he's probably a metahuman, and Argus sure as hell wouldn't care. And I know he's part of the corporate justice gang, who definitely would not want him working with like a wanted man like Chris, but you know, he'd want it off the books, under the table. This is something he cares about, and so he's gonna fight for it. So they're all getting ready to go, and Chris and Amelia are suiting up, and Chris just convinces her to wear a Peacemaker helmet for her safety, like one that has powers on it. So she wears it, suits up, hinting at a Peace Wrecker possibility. But meanwhile, Rick Flag Sr., he finally meets with Lex Luthor in Belle Reve prison, and they get to talk, and he says the whole shtick about, I'll move you to a prison in Metropolis with no metahumans if you help me find the Peacemaker. So he agrees and helps them find him, but this time they don't find him using like Chris's own dimension opener. They make a new one. So our other group is all ready to go. They arrive in Chris 2's house. It's all silent. They think the house is empty. And all of a sudden, Augie walks in. And obviously, episode 7 didn't happen when I'm writing this. So Chris still thinks of him as this villainous guy. He doesn't know what to do, but Augie explains the situation, and the Blue Dragon joins their squad. And before the big face-off, they acquire some new team members too, the Sons of Liberty, or at least what's left of them, including Vigilante 2. So this is their team as of now. 2 Vigilantes, Sons of Liberty, Peacemaker, Peace Wrecker, Amelia, Judomaster, Bloodsport, Blue Dragon, G.I. Robot, and Mr. Terrific. What a squad. So they go outside, all ready to fight, and because of what happened with Adebayo, the racists of Earth X are like, they're paranoid, they're on the lookout, and they're all ganging up, you know? All the violent ones are out there, so there's just this crazy fight scene reminiscent of some of the fights in the Guardians trilogy and the Suicide Squad, and they basically just going around killing everybody. You know, it looks great, like Peacemaker's beating everybody up, Mr. Terrific's got his T-spheres going, you know, Bloodsport's got all his weapons, and Peace Wrecker has her like superpowered helmet, and the fight's going great. But the most powerful one on Earth X likely is Keith, and he's still around, you know, flying this jetpack, killing some Sons of Liberty members. And when a lot of the people on his Earth is dead and he's like one of the last ones, he's trying to kill Chris because he killed his brother, you know, and Augie's trying to convince him like, you can't do this, but he's not giving up, and he's a danger to everyone. So Augie is forced to kill him, and it's this really emotional, crazy scene. So in the aftermath of all this, they go around, it's like a ghost town, there's nobody else there. Some of them cheer in victory, you know, they won the battle, they accomplished their goal. Peacemaker, Bloodsport, and Mr. Terrific have a mutual respect for each other now. So they're all leaving, ready to go back to their Earth, and Chris is just trying to convince Augie to come with him. Like, we could be happy, we could have a good father-son relationship like neither of them had between each other. but Augie's like, oh, it doesn't feel right. This is my Earth. You know, he's being the wise one here. But he's actually eventually convinced, you know? He wasn't a big fan of the ideals of Earth X, and there's nothing left for him there. So they go back home, everyone goes back home, and there's a new top trio in town. It's Harcourt, Peacewrecker, Peacemaker, and the Blue Dragon. And Peacemaker is just living his best life right now. He has a great relationship with his father. He got the girl, and everybody respects him. But, you know, that's not going to last long. Anyway, back at Argus, they're looking through each of the portals, and they come across Earth X, the Aftermath. It's like a bloodbath, but they're like, okay, this is the one. This is where we're going to make a prison. It's totally habitable. This could work. So they sent a cleanup crew to fix it up, make it brand new. But back to Chris, you know, he's alone in his house with the dimension opener, and he's just like totally away from it. He doesn't want anything to do with the dimensions. So he tries to break it, but it's not budging, throwing it against the wall, and it eventually finally breaks. He's gone from all the dimensional practices. Earth X, he's gone. He doesn't have to worry about it. It's all in the past, and he's ready to start a new future. He's happy now, but he hears faint muttering from outside, and all of a sudden, bam, the door knocks down, and the Argus agents come in and bag his head. When he wakes up, he's inside like the dimensional portal room, and they're taking him somewhere, and he looks around, and it's Earth X. That's where they trapped him. He's back in prison, and it's the same thing as the finale. You know, he's going to be trapped here leading into Man of Tomorrow, except this is Earth X. So he pulls a book straight out of Spider-Man Homecoming, and he goes, what the fuck? And the show ends there. Boom, that's how you do it. This is totally what it should have been. I would have loved for them to do it. Was that so hard, James Gunn? That's like perfect. I don't know. I think that was totally build up hype. I think it's great. Let me know what you guys thought. I'm interested. Do you guys think this was better than the actual finale? What would you guys change? What would you have added? Let me know. So yeah, comment below.